I'm Nick Candle, the best looking kid in the
I'll start there, Nick. All right. So I'm gonna start with Jake, and I'm gonna have each of you introduce your part, okay? And just say who you are. You don't have to say your last name. Just say like, I'm such and such, and I'm Jake, and I'm reading this part.
So do I say like Reverend Samuel Paris?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Jake. I'm reading Reverend Samuel Paris.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm reading John Proctor.
Hi, I'm Lacey. I'm reading Betty Paris.
Hi, I'm Carly. I'm reading Mary. Just Mary.
Warren.
Warren?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do I say the other?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Hi, I'm Carly and I'm reading Mary Warren.
Hi, I'm Allie and I'm reading Abigail. What's the last
Williams.
Williams.
Hi, I'm Marissa and I'm reading Susanna Walcott.
Hi, I'm Grace and I'm reading Mercy Lewis.
Okay,
Hi,
and
I'm James. I'm reading Anne Putnam.
Hi, I'm Gabe. I'm reading Thomas Putnam.
okay, we'll see how this goes. Okay. So I'm gonna read you the introduction from my own version, and then we'll start with the first line, which is gonna be Tituba on page 6. Okay, make sure you read really loud. I know that sounds so silly to say, but just bear with me on this. It does feel weird, doesn't it? Okay. Alrighty. So, Reverend Harris over here. Just a little bit of background about you. You are the ward of 2 children, Betty Paris, your daughter, and Abby Williams, your niece. You are terrible with children. They don't like you. You don't particularly like them, and you're really bad with them. Specifically, you live your life in a way that believes like children should be seen and not heard. They should only speak when spoken to, and they should look in the ground all the time. All right. You have been the Reverend of Salem for 3 years, and it's not going well. They don't particularly like you in this town. They think you're more concerned about your reputation and nice things versus actually like being a man of God. All right. Last night something happened. We're gonna find out pretty quickly what happened. Miss Betty over here and Abby were out in the woods, and you leaped out upon them, and Betty, can no longer wake up for some reason. Okay? So we'll get there. Jake's very confused.
Sorry, my daughter.
All right, so I'm gonna read you mine, and then I'll tell you when we're starting. So this whole thing opens up in a small little room in the home of Reverend Harris in Salem, Massachusetts in 1692. There is a narrow window at the left, and through its leaded panes the morning sunlight streams. A candle still burns near the table, which is at the right. A chest and a chair and a small table are the other furnishings. At the back, a door opens on the landing of the stairway to the ground floor. The room gives off an air of clean spareness. The roof rafters are exposed, and the wood is raw and unmellowed. And as the curtain rises, Reverend Paris is discovered kneeling beside the bed, evidently in prayer. His daughter, Betty Paris, aged 10, lies upon the bed, inert. All right? Reverend Paris is praying now, and though we cannot hear his words, a sense of confusion hangs about him. He mumbles, then seems about to weep. Then he weeps. And then he prays again, but his daughter does not stir. The door opens, and his Negro slave, Tituba, is in her 40s. Paris brought her with him from Barbados, where they spent some years as a merchant before entering the ministries. She enters as one who can no longer bear to be barred from the sight of her beloved, but she is also very frightened. For her slave has warned her that, as always, trouble in this house will land on her back. Tituba takes a step forward. My Betty be hearty soon. So this is you. This is your first line on page 6.
Out of here.
My Betty not gonna die.
Out of sight. Out of mind. Oh
Tituba
my.
exits hurriedly. He kneels again. He is overcome with sobs.
Oh my God. God help me.
Quaking with a body full of fear and uttering undecipherable syllables of sobs.
Betty, child, dear child, will you wake? Will you open up your eyes? Betty, little one.
Abby Williams, 17, enters. She is a strikingly beautiful girl, an orphan, with an endless capacity for disassembling, which basically means everything you touch breaks. Abby. Now, she's all worried. apprehension and propriety.
Uncle, Susanna Walcott's here from Dr. Griggs.
Oh, the doctor. Let her come. Let her come.
Come in, Susanna.
Susanna Walcott, a little younger than Abby, enters.
What does the doctor say, child?
Dr. Griggs, he bid me come and tell you, Reverend Sir, that he cannot discover no medicine for it in his books.
Then he must search on.
Sir, he have been searching his books since he left you, sir, but he bid me tell you that you might look to unnatural things for the cause of it.
All right, so this is the first hint. So he's like, we don't know what's going on, but maybe there's a witch here. Like, Betty over here won't wake up. She must potentially be bewitched. It's a little wild. And this is not the first time this is going to be implied. All right, Paris, you don't like the sound of this.
No. There be no unnatural causes here. Tell him I have sent for Reverend Hale of Beverly, and Mr. Hale will surely confirm that. Let him look to medicine, and put out all thought of unnatural causes here. There be none.
Sir, he bid me tell you.
Speak nothing up in the village, Susanna.
Go directly home and speak nothing of unnatural causes.
Sir, I pray for her.
She leaves.
Uncle, the rumor of witchcraft is all about. I think you best go down and deny it yourself. The parlor's packed with people, sir. I'll sit with her.
All right, so the rumor of witchcraft exists in this town. Now, how bad would it look for your character, Jake, the minister, and therefore the moral and religious center of the town, to have a bewitched daughter? How bad would that look?
Probably bad.
So he's like, I don't want this. I don't. And but they're like, no, it's already started, sir. Just accept it. Paris.
And what shall I say to them? That my daughter and my niece I discovered dancing like heaven in the forest, even in the forest.
Uncle, we did dance. Let me tell them I confess it. But they're speaking of witchcraft. Betty is not bewitched.
Abigail, I cannot go before the congregation when I know you have not opened with me. What did you do with her in the forest?
We did dance, Uncle. And when you leapt out of the bush so suddenly, Betty was frightened and then she fainted. And there's a hole of it.
Child, sit down.
All right, so imagine this, if you will. A group of young girls in Salem, Massachusetts in 1692, and basically an Amish sect of religion, are caught dancing in the woods. Okay? Doesn't look great. Starting there. Second of all, as you are dancing, your uncle leaps out of a bush and is like, what are you doing? That would be terrifying, right? So, like, no wonder Betty's in shock. Her uncle, like, straight up leapt out of a bush and scared the crap out of her. She might have a concussion for all we know. All right. Child, sit you down.
I just said that.
I would never hurt Betty on her dearly.
Okay. I would never hurt Betty. I love her dearly.
Now look, you child, I have no desire to punish you. That will come in its time. But if you trafficked with spirits in the forest, I must know it. For surely my enemies will, and they'll ruin me with it.
But we never conjured spirits.
Then why can she not move herself since midnight? This child is desperate. It must come out. My enemies will bring it out. Let me know what you have done here. Abigail, do you understand that I have many enemies?
I know it, Uncle.
There's a faction that is sworn to drive me from my pulpit. Do you understand that?
Right, and just so we're clear, that means there's a group of people from within the church that want to drive Jake's character, the Reverend, out of town. Okay? You are not well liked by this group. Okay?
I think so, sir.
Now then, in the midst of such description, my own household is discovered to be the very center of some obscene practice. Abominations are done in the forest.
It was only sport, Uncle.
I saw Tituba waving her arms over the fire when I came on you. Why was she doing that? and I heard a screeching and gibberish coming from her mouth.
She always sings in her Barbados songs, and we dance.
I cannot blink what I saw, Abigail, for my enemies will not blink it. I saw a dress lying in the grass.
A dress?
A dress, and I thought I saw someone naked running through the trees.
All right, so now it's getting real spicy. So not only were they dancing in the woods, somebody's running around naked.
Great.
What?
Great.
Great. I'm sure that looks great to them. All right.
Gay.
No one was naked.
No one was naked. You mistake yourself, Uncle.
I saw it. Now tell me the truth, Abigail. Now my ministry is at stake. My ministry and perhaps your cousin's life. Whatever abomination you have done, give me all of it now. For I dare not be taken unaware when I go before them down there.
There is nothing more. I swear it, Uncle.
Abby, you have a really bad time admitting the truth, by the way. You're willing to admit to things that you already know the person knows. How do you ever lie to your parents?
Never.
Have any of you ever admitted to something because you knew they already knew it, but maybe didn't tell them the rest of it? Abby's real good about that. She's like, okay. We danced because he saw it, so she can't fight that. And then he's like, and then I saw she was waving her arms. She's like, okay, so she was waving her arms over a fire. It's totally fine. So like she's admitted to those two things. There was far more going on in the woods that night than just dancing, a naked girl running around, and a woman waving her hands over a fire. Let me tell you.
Abigail, I have fought here 3 long years to bend these stiff-necked people to me. And now, just now, when there must be some good respect for me in the parish, you compromise my very character. I have given you a home, child. I have put clothes upon your back. Now give me a upright answer. Your name in the town. It is entirely white, is it not?
That's a very personal question you just asked her. He's basically asked you if you're pure, if you've got a good reputation. Alright? You don't like this question. Shocker.
Why, I am sure it is, sir. There be no blush about my name.
Abigail, is there any other cause than you have told me for Goody Proctor discharging you?
Mhm.
It has troubled me that you are now 7 months out of their house, and in all this time no other family has ever called you for your service.
Alright, so something happened 7 months ago that you were fired from Mrs. Proctor. Goody just means Mrs. Proctor's house. And in that time, nobody else in the town has tried to employ you. That's not good.
They want slaves, not as much as I. Let them send to Barbados for that. I will not black my face for any of them.
Enter Mrs. Ann Putnam. She is a twisted soul of 45, a death-ridden woman, haunted by dreams. And the first thing you say is just it's so peppy, so sunshiny.
No, I cannot have anyone. Why Goody Putman come in?
It is a marvel. It is solely a stroke of hell upon you.
No, Goody Putman, it is.
How high did she fly? How high?
No, she never flew.
Why, it's so she did. Mr. Collins, someone going over? 80 no souls born and come down light as a bone, he says.
Now, look, you Goody Putman, she never.
Enter Thomas Putnam, her husband. He's a well-to-do, hard-handed landowner of 50.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Putman.
It is a providence. The thing is out now. It is a providence.
What's out, sir? What's?
Why, her eyes is closed. Look you, Anne.
Anne?
It's on the second
We're on page
next,
9?
Next page.
Why, that's strange. All's is open.
Your little Ruth is sick.
I do
Oh,
not
crap.
What? Wait, what? It's fine. No, we haven't done. I'd not call it sick.
I do not call it sick. The devil's touch is heavier than sick. It's death, you know. It's death driving into them fork and hoof.
Your daughter will wake up one morning. We don't know why. She's got to be possessed by the devil, James.
Oh, pray not. Why, how does your child ail?
He ails as he must. He never walked this morning,
Wait.
but
There's no L. Like, never woke up.
she never waked
Mm-hmm.
this morning, but her eyes open and she talks. She walks. And hears not, sees not, and cannot hear. Her soul is taken solely.
So this is going to be the first time, and not the last, where we see what we would describe as normal behavior now as being possessed by the devil. Your daughter is wandering around the house, but doesn't seem to be awake. What could she be doing? Sleepwalking! Must be possessed by the devil. Alright. Don't worry, you're going to think she's possessed by the devil for a variety of reasons, James.
They say you've sent for Reverend Hale of Beverly.
A precaution only. He has much experience in all demonic arts, and I.
He has indeed, and found a witch in Beverly last year, and let you remember that.
Now, goody Ann, they only thought that we're a witch, and I am certain that there be no element of witchcraft here.
No witchcraft. Now look you, Mr. Paris.
Thomas, I pray you, leap not to witchcraft. I know that you least of all, Thomas, would ever wish to distrust a charge laid upon me. We cannot leap to witchcraft. They will howl me out of Salem for such corruption in my house.
Now look you, Mr. Paris. I have taken your part in all contention here, and I would continue, but I cannot if you hold back in this. You are hurtful, vengeful spirits, laying hands on these children.
But Thomas, you cannot.
And tell Mr. Paris what you have done.
Reverend Terrace, I have laid 7 babies unbaptized in the home. Believe me, so you never saw more naughty babies born. And yet, each would wither in my arms, the very neck of the home. I have spoken nothing, but my heart has clamored intimation.
Mm-hmm.
And now this year, my only I seek home, growing strange. A secret child she has become this year, and shrivels like a sucking mouth for pouring out her life into. And so I thought to send her to you, to your Tituba.
Mm-hmm. So Anne over here has had really bad luck having children. She's given birth to 7 babies. Unfortunately, they've only lasted about a day or two, and then they die. Infant mortality is terrible about that back in the 1600s. The bigger issue here is that apparently you have forgotten what it means to grow up. She has a young child of about 10 or 11. Her young child of about 10 or 11 has started thinning out and has become secretive. Any reason as to why that might happen? She's 10 or 11. What was that? She hit puberty, guys.
Oh.
She's a witch.
But Anne's like, no, possessed by the devil. James is like, this woman is ridiculous. Yes, she is.
To Tituba, what may Tituba?
Tituba knows how to speak to the dead, Mr. Paris.
Goody Ann, it is a formidable sin
Uh-huh.
to conjure up the dead.
I take it on my soul. But who else may surely tell us that person indeed, that person murdered my babies?
Woman.
They were murdered, Mr. Paris. And mark this proof. Mark it. Last night my roots were ever so close to the little spirits. I know it so, for how else is she struck down now, except some power of darkness would stop her mouth? It is a marvelous sign, Mr. Paris.
Don't you understand it, sir? There is a murdering witch among us bound to keep herself in the dark. Let your enemies make of it what they will. You cannot blink it more.
To Abby.
Then you were conjuring spirits last night.
No, sir, not I. Tituba and Ruth.
Once again, only admitting to what people already know.
Now I am undone.
You are not undone. Let you take hold there. Wait for no one to charge you. Declare it yourself. You have discovered witchcraft.
In my house, Thomas. They will topple me with this. They will make of it
Enter Mercy Lewis, a sly, merciless girl of 18. So she's a sneaky, mean girl of about 18.
Your pardons. I only thought to see how Betty is.
Why aren't you home? Who's with Ruth?
Alright, so, Grace, your character works for the Putnams.
Like a slave?
Not like a slave, but just like a servant. Or a maid. Okay.
Her grandma will come. She's improved a little. I think she gave a powerful sneeze before.
Ah, there's a sign of life.
I fear no more. Goody Putnam, it were granted sneeze. Another like it will shake her wits together, I'm sure.
The powerful sneezes, man.
Will you leave me now, Thomas? I would pray a while alone.
Uncle, you've prayed since midnight. Why do you not go down and...
No.
No. I'll wait till Mr. Hale arrives.
Now look you, sir. Let you strike down against the devil, and the village will bless you for it. Come down, speak to them, pray with them. They're thirsting for your word, mister. Surely you'll pray with them.
I have no stomach for
Disputation.
disputation
You're not looking to fight this morning.
this morning. I will lead them in a song, but let you say nothing of witchcraft yet. I will not discuss it. The cause is yet unknown. I have had enough contention since I came. I want no more.
Alright, so Putnam, you have left the room. And
Well, so you go home to Ruth. Gail.
Hey, Mom.
Anne leaves.
If she starts for the window, cry for me at once.
She crosses to the door. Abby?
I don't know. Yes, Uncle?
There is a terrible power in her arms today.
You believe she could legitimately fly. Goes out with Putnam. Okay, so let's just situate ourselves here. So, you two have left the room. So Thomas and Anne Putnam have both left. Paris has now left the room. The only people left in this room are Abby Williams, okay, who is 17. I think you're Mercy Lewis, right? No, Mercy Lewis, which is Grace, okay? Another one of Abby's cronies. Betty, her cousin, and then Mary Warren's gonna show up. Who's Mary Warren? Is that you? Okay. Where's the cards thing with you? Susanna Walker. Okay. All right. So Mercy Lewis is Mary Warren's gonna show up. Do you guys ever have different conversations with your friends when your parents aren't around?
No.
No. Okay. So all of the adults have left the room. So we're gonna find out what actually happened in the forest, and it's way more sinister than anything the girls have let on. All right.
We're all there.
Yes.
Oh,
How is Ruth sick?
it's weird. I know not. She seems to walk like a dead one since last night.
Betty.
Betty does not move, so she shakes her.
Now stop this, Betty. Betty, sit up now.
Have you tried beating her? I gave Ruth a good one and it waked her for a minute. Here, let me have her. Oh my
No,
gosh.
he'll be coming up. Now, look you. If they be question us, tell them that we danced. I told them as much as ready.
All right. So this is kind of that moment where they're gonna get their story straight, right? She's like, we danced. They know we danced. So you can admit to that if you want. All right. What else have they done according to you? Mercy.
And what more?
He saw you naked.
Oh, Jesus.
She falls back on the bed. And to Mary Warren, a breathless girl, so she's been running. She is 17, a subservient and naive girl. So, Carly, your character, she's a follower, not a leader. She is a sheep. Okay?
What will we do? The whole village is out.
Mercy. Oh, so Mary's gonna say something, and Mercy's gonna make fun of her. So, like, I'm gonna do it for you real quick. So, what do we do? The whole village is out. Mercy goes, what do we do?
I just
come from the farm. The whole country's talking witchcraft. They'll be calling us witches, Abby.
Mercy mimicking her again.
Oh, you want me to read it? They'll be calling us witches, Abby. She means to tell, I know it.
Abby, we've got to tell. Witchery's hanging air on hanging, like they done in Boston 2 years ago. We must tell the truth. Abby, you'll only be whipped for dancing and the other things.
Oh, we'll be whipped.
Right. She's like, I am not going down alone. She's like, if I'm going down, the rest of you are going down with me.
I've never done none of it, Abby. I only looked.
Oh, you're a great one for looking, aren't you, Mary Warren?
Betty whimpers.
Betty, now Betty dear, wake up now. It's Abigail.
She sits Betty up and furiously shakes her.
I'll beat you, Betty.
Betty whimpers.
My, you see him improving? I talked to your papa, and I told him everything, so there's nothing to...
I want my mama.
What ails you, Betty? Your mama's dead and buried.
Well,
How comforting. You literally wake up from this like stupor. You're like, I want my mom. And this girl, this horrible girl is like, your mom is dead and buried.
I'll fly to mama, let me fly.
She raises her arms as though to fly. Mercy and Abby thrust them down.
I told him everything. He knows now. He knows everything we...
Betty suddenly springs off of her bed. She rushes across the room to the window where Abby catches her.
You drank blood, Abby, you drank blood.
Abby's literally like, what the heck? Oh, Abigail drags Betty back to bed, forcing her into it.
Betty, you never say that again. You will never.
You did. You drank a charm to kill John Proctor's wife. You drank a charm to kill Betty Proctor.
Abby slaps her across the face.
Shut it. Now shut it.
Betty
Mama,
collapsing on the bed.
mama.
She dissolves into sobs. All right. So whatever happened 7 months ago, you drank a charm. You've now drank a charm, drink blood to kill Mrs. Proctor.
Oh, is
My
that
wife.
Huh?
Uncle.
Is that true?
Who's Miss Proctor?
Nobody here's Mrs. Proctor.
She's dead.
Who are you?
No,
I'm her-
Mrs. Proctor's alive.
You're
I thought you said she was
I'm her
dead.
husband.
No,
Betty's
Betty's
mama.
mom.
Betty's mom is dead.
That's my wife, not yours, Nick.
Yeah.
I'm John Proctor.
Yeah, you have a wife. She exists.
What the? Are we like all related something? Like,
What? You and Abby?
Jake.
No, it's nothing. It's nothing like that.
it's just-
All right. So Abby, you're gonna threaten all of them.
Nice.
Oh no, it's really good. Read the whole thing.
Now look you, all of you, we danced, and Tituba conjured Ruth Whitman's dead sisters, and that is all. And mark this, let either of you breathe out a word, or the edge of a word, about the other things. I will come to you in the black of some terrible night, and I will bring a pointy reckoning that will shudder you. And you know I can do it. I saw Indians smash my dear parents' heads on the pillow next to mine. And I have seen some reddish work done at night. And I can make you soon wish that you had never seen the sun go down.
Nope, you skipped a bunch.
I did?
Yeah, because you didn't specify that you saw Indians smash your dear parents' heads in.
Yeah, she is.
She did? Okay, I thought she missed that part. That's my fault. Betty cries louder. Okay, so let's unpack that a little bit. So you're an orphan because your parents were killed on the pillow next to you.
No.
All right, and then you try to get the girl's story straight. And what do you threaten to do if they tell the truth?
Kill them.
You will stab them.
What a good friend.
Yeah, she's your ringleader, ladies. Get excited.
It's like Mean Girls.
It is like Mean Girls, but she is the meanest girl. All right. Mary.
What's got her, Abby? Oh, sorry.
What's got her, Abby? She's going to die. It's a sin to conjure, and we...
I say shut it, Mary Warren.
Enter John Proctor. And since we have 10 minutes, we're going to read this part. Oh, John Proctor, you are a well-liked landowner. You're about 30 to 35. You're well-respected in the town. Okay?
Oh, I'm just going home, Mr. Proctor.
Be you foolish, Mary Warren. Be you deaf? I forbid you leave the house. Did I not? Why shall I pay you? I am looking for you more often than my cows.
So, Mary Warren works for the Proctor family now. Okay? They fired Abby, but have hired Mary.
I only come to see the great doings in the world.
I'll show you a great doing on your arse one of these days. Now get you home.
They really like to witness punishment in this civilization. Mary crosses up and out.
My wife is waiting with your work.
Mercy rises, crossing to the entrance, titillated, being aware of their relationship.
I'd be best off. I have my roof washed. Good morning, Mr. Proctor.
Mercy sidles out. Since Proctor's entrance, Abigail has stood absorbed in his presence, on tiptoe, wide-eyed.
She's only gone, silly. Somehow she's come out of it.
She'll come out of it. Proctor.
So she flies, eh? Where are her wings?
Oh, John, sure you're not believing she flies.
The road past my house is a pilgrimage to Salem all morning. The town's mumbling witchcraft.
Oh, posh. We were dancing in the woods last night, and my uncle leaped in on us. She took fright, is all.
Dance,
Proctor, his smile widens. He crosses to the door.
dancing by moonlight,
Abigail springs into his path.
you'll be clapped in the stocks before you're 20.
Abigail, barring his way out of the room.
Give me a word, John, a soft word.
No, Abby, I've not come for that.
You've come 5 miles to see a silly girl fly. I know you better.
I come to see what mischief your uncle is brewing now. Put it out of mind, Abby.
Oh, I know. It gets saucy.
John, I am waiting for you every night.
Abby, you'll put it out of mind. I'll not be coming for you more.
You're surely sporting with me.
You know me better.
I'm not reading it for you, so as long as you're comfortable with it, it's cool.
I know how you clutched my back behind your house and sweated like a stallion whenever I come near. I saw your face when she put me out and you loved me then and you do now.
Abby, that's a wild thing to say.
Oh, what's the place? A wild things may say many wild things. I have seen you since she put me out, and I've seen you nights.
I have hardly stepped off my farm this 7 month.
I have a sense for heat, John, and yours has drawn me to my window. Do you tell me you've never looked up at my window?
Perhaps I have.
I know you, John. I know you.
She is openly weeping now.
Wow. I cannot sleep for dreaming. I cannot dream, but I wake up and walk all about the house, as though I find you coming through some door.
Proctor, taking her hands.
Child.
With a flash of anger, she throws his hands off.
How do you call me child?
As 3 or 4 persons off stage begin a quiet chant, a psalm or a hymn of some kind.
Abby, I may think of you softly from time to time, but I will cut off my hand before I'll ever reach for you again. Wipe it out of mind.
Takes her arms.
We never touched, Abby.
Abigail, putting her hands on his shoulders.
But we did.
Proctor, pushing her away.
Hey, but we did not.
Abigail, with a bitter anger,
Oh, I marvel how such a
beating her fists against his chest.
strong man may let such a sickly wife be.
Coldly grabbing her wrists.
You'll speak nothing of Elizabeth.
She is blackening my name in the village. She is telling lies about me. She's a cold, sniveling woman, and you bend to her. Let her turn you like a...
Proctor, he shakes her.
Do you look for whipping?
Abigail, outraged, but in tears.
I look for John Proctor that put knowledge in my heart. I never knew what pretense Salem was. I never knew the lying lessons I was taught by all these Christian women and their covenanted men. And now you bid me tear the light out of my eyes. I will not. I cannot.
She shakes free from him.
You loved me, John Proctor, and whatever sin it is, you loved me yet.
He turns abruptly to go out. She rushes to the door, blocks it.
John, pity me. Pity me.
The word Jehovah is heard in the song outside. Betty claps her ears suddenly and whines loudly.
Betty?
She hurries to Betty, who is sitting up screaming. Proctor crosses to Abby, who is trying to pull Betty's hands down, calling, Betty. Proctor is growing unnerved, calling, what is she doing, girl? What ails you? Stop that wailing, girl. The singing has stopped, and in the midst of this, Paris rushes in. Paris.
What happened? What are you doing to her? Betty.
He rushes to the bed, crying, Betty, Betty, as Anne crosses about to Paris, feverish with curiosity, and with her Putnam, who crosses behind her. Abigail.
She heard you singing, and suddenly she's up and screaming.
Anne.
The psalm, she cannot bear to hear the Lord's name.
Paris.
No, God forbid.
Mark it for a sign, mark it.
Rebecca, nurse of 72, enters. She has a white hair and leans upon her walking stick.
That is a notorious sign of witchcraft afoot. A prodigious sign.
Okay, really quickly before I lose you here in about 5 minutes. Okay, so correlation is not causation. So Betty is wailing and whimpering. I think we forgot that you and Mr. Proctor over here are having a very intimate conversation
Let's go.
right around Betty's bed. Okay, so they're talking about how like she's all like, I love you, Cody, with this like 9-year-old's like, oh my god, what is going on? Yeah.
So did he have an affair?
Oh yes.
Cheat on his wife?
Yes, he did.
So?
So
No problem.
it makes a lot more sense now. Why did you drink a charm to kill Cody Proctor?
But this poor like lady has had 7 like.
No, that's Ann Putnam.
I support it.
And she's crazy too.
I was
Your
like,
wife is lovely.
I was like, dang, he's cheating on his wife. Okay, no,
No,
that makes more
his
sense.
wife has had, I think, 3 children, and I think she got really bad postpartum depression after her like most recent one,
Oh my god.
and so they were no longer being intimate, and so he
Dang it.
chased after the one that was seducing him, which would be Abby.
I think this kind of
What a
sucks.
horrible man.
Abby is useless. All right, but they believe that the girl is wailing because she cannot bear to hear the Lord's name, which is inaccurate. The issue here is you are having a very adult conversation around a 9-year-old.
Wait, how old is Abby? She's only like.
She's like 17.
That's freaking 35. That is
Hey.
bad.
Hey,
That's
it's just
illegal.
It's gross, I know, but here's the thing. It is weird, and I don't approve of it, and it is what it is, but it's a different time, like 300 years ago, guys.
She just got 1 more year.
Stop. We're gonna have to edit that out of our audio. So, okay, once again, they have decided to attribute something that has nothing to do with witchcraft to witchcraft. And that is where we will leave. Guys,
You said that. That's horrible.
edit that out.
Why would you give Nick to read that part? Out of all the boys in this class.
I